And hello again, folks. I'm Tom Kvick, and I'm here with a little bit more weather information. This time, not focused on severe weather, but focused on planning for about the next week. You got a weekend, and you got next week coming up in this 7-day forecast. So right now, we look out live with the tower cam views. We're 65 out at AEX, 61 is our dew point. So humidity remains high, and we see winds continuing. SENOB Broadcasting, we thank you for these cameras, and you can see the clouds out there. And likewise, we go up to Gina, where we're remaining cloudy in that direction, 65 degrees there. And once again, SENOB Broadcasting helping us out there. And all you folks expect some cooler weather coming into the forecast in the not too distant future. A cold front is on the way. Looking at it right now, things have calmed down considerably here across central Louisiana. We see most of the activity now has worked off to the east of us. And what I think is happening is that the upper level, one piece of energy upstairs, aloft, remember these systems that we talk about aloft, they force the issue by changing the weather. And so what's happening is the energy is being transferred now to the east of central Louisiana. And you can see more rain and storms over in that direction. I think overnight we'll see the severe potential remain in Mississippi, Alabama, and even into Georgia later tonight, maybe in the morning. Looking back to the west, we see a little action there around the DFW metro area, and a little bit more in areas to the north of us. In fact, this has got a cold side, a little wintry stuff there across portions of the plains, as you see over in that direction. Let me outline it for you right in there. Then this little thunderstorms around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Some of those may be producing some hail or strong wind. And this is with a second piece of energy kind of hanging back. The first piece of energy, what we call the lead wave, has passed off now and is supporting this area of convection. This area is supported by the second piece, which is kind of hanging back. Now, as that second piece of energy comes through overnight, what will happen is that it will come into, instead of producing thunderstorms like it is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and southward, what it will do is it will produce just some showers or some sprinkles or drizzle and some clouds, because the atmosphere here now has been stabilized by the showers and thunderstorms that we had earlier in the day. So we won't have the same energy available that got across portions of central and north Texas for the thunderstorms. So I think our thunderstorms are over with, at least for a while. Satellite and radar indicating here's a surface low coming through the area. Out ahead of this is where you get the rain and thunderstorms. There's the backside, the cold side. Here's the cold front, and that cold front will move through tonight, and behind it, it will be more stable than what we're seeing here right now. So again, any post-frontal rain will just be in the form of this rain. Lows tonight, 48 is typical. We'll be a little bit above that, despite the fact that a cold front comes through. We'll bottom out in the 50s. I'd say the middle 50s for an average. 55 is my average, and we'll range through the 50s. There'll be some readings as cool as 51 or 52, and some readings as high as 59 degrees. And you'll kind of see a northwest to southeast and east pattern there. So back in the northwest areas there, Manny, Natchitoches, lower 50s over in that direction. Winfield 53, Leesville 53. You head east and south, we go up to 58 for Opelousas, 56 in Avoyelles, and upper 50s taking us from Jonesville into Faraday and Vidalia. And so that is the presence of the front. The folks up in those areas from Manny, Natchitoches, Winfield, they feel the front first, and so it will have more influence. Highs tomorrow, not a big change from your morning low to your afternoon high, because we'll see a mostly cloudy sky, and there will be a couple of showers in and around the area. We'll see about 63 for an average. I think one rest, for example, Natchitoches and Winfield, only 60 for a high, 66 for the warmest reading. That would happen down in areas to the south that do have Opelousas at 65, and everyone else in between. So get ready, folks. This is a change that you will notice for the day tomorrow. And then here is your rainfall pattern. I didn't see any rain in the National Weather Service forecast. They may turn out to be right, but I'm not comfortable with the 0%. So I'm going to put a timing in the AM for your Saturday rainfall. Remember, these weather systems, the second piece of energy is coming in. Even though we're post-frontal, the moisture is going to wrap around the surface low to the east of us and wrap around behind the front. That is going to bring the clouds, and there could be, in these kind of patterns, it is typical that we get some low end drizzle or light rain, that kind of thing. So I'm throwing 20 cents worth in for that Any amounts would be less than 1/4 of an inch. I'm leaving a lot of leeway there, but 1/4 inch or less isn't much. So there's your little bit of a rainfall pattern for your Saturday. Now, looking ahead in the futurecast with the GFS model, this is things are kind of status quo for the weekend and toward the middle of next week, at least through Tuesday. We got a stable weather pattern, a tranquil weather pattern for us. But once we get into Wednesday, we start to see another change. It'll be kind of a tipping point in our forecast there as we see energy stacked up out west. Here's that northwesterly flow that we've got coming in right there. And then there's the southwest and west flow out ahead of it. So this represents an area where we're seeing energy and acceleration of the atmosphere. And essentially what's going to happen is that out ahead of that, all the way into the plains and even into Louisiana, are all in this area, will start to feel the atmosphere, will start to feel the presence of this system off to the west. And we will start to notice some changes here in central Louisiana from that kind of pattern. So here we go. Wednesday forward into Thursday, say by Thursday evening, we see a lot of energy cutting off here across the west, and out ahead of that we see increasing southwesterly flow with little ripples of energy disturbances coming through across the area for that. And so Thursday introduces our next likelihood for rainfall that day and thunderstorms. And once we get into Friday, going in and into Saturday, what we'll start to see is still some of this energy out west is cut off across Arizona, but we're also seeing a lot of energy coming in from Canada, from the northwest, and then it will swing into the eastern portion of the area. Those folks will feel the main impact from that. However, there will be a little bit of phasing, maybe between this system and this one coming in. And so that is going to keep things unsettled, I think, or wet through Saturday here. So we're kind of looking at some significant changes coming there after a tranquil period there as we move into the 7-day forecast for you, summing things up. There's your 20%. I'll limit that to the AM hours on Saturday. It'll be a cooler day. Be ready for that. You'll notice it. It'll be that much cooler. 42, a chilly start Sunday morning, only 65 for a high. Partly cloudy skies. Less clouds Sunday than Saturday. Monday, probably the most sunshine we'll see over the next 7 days, but also the coolest start. We'll see some upper 30s mixing with lower 40s, but again, some regions could be as low as maybe 36 or 37, but so far I'm holding things below out of the freezing level. We're going to be safely above the freezing level, I think, unless it gets a lot colder than I think it will. And then we start warming up Tuesday morning, although still chilly, 42, 74 for your high Tuesday. Start to add a little bit more cloudiness to the forecast. Wednesday's a partly cloudy day. I do have to throw in 20% worse there. Temperatures continuing to moderate, especially at night, going from 42 to 55. So the moisture's coming in, and that's what happens. It'll warm up at night, and many times you know that once the nights warm up, rain isn't far away. And there we go for Thursday and Friday, with rain and thunderstorms in the forecast. Frontal passage will occur on Friday, but it's not going to be a kind of pattern that cleans it out. So strong weather, I'm calling it, possible during that time period. So we'll kind of take a look at that in coming forecast and see what's happening. And by strong weather, I mean maybe a combination of severe weather threat as well as heavy rainfall. So with that energy, as I explained, hanging out to the west for 2 or 3 days, that pattern many times causes heavy rainfall here in central Louisiana. By heavy rainfall, I'm talking more than what we had for today, Friday, during that time frame, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. So we'll keep our eyes open and keep plugging away at the weather charts and studying that. And I'll be back with you for tomorrow afternoon for an update. Thanks for